Well, my name's Adam Pierce and I've been covering Newcastle United for around about 8 years now, so I started off between the first few months of 2015.
Hello everyone, so my name's Lee Lawler and I'm the head of Newcastle Fans TV, and I've been doing YouTube since 2015, so this summer will be my 8th year. Wow, times flew by.
Hello, my name's Rob and I run the Rubenstein YouTube channel, and I've been covering Newcastle for what feels like 2 seconds but is actually now over 7 years.
Matty Renton, the Magpie Channel TV, 5 years now.
Well, I think one of the worst things was Aston Villa away. That was the season in 2016 where we went down, because I remember earlier on in the day that Sunderland had Chelsea at home. They were 2-1 down and they somehow came back to win 3-2. So I was thinking before Newcastle's game even started that we are screwed here. It's going to go terribly wrong. And unfortunately, in the end, 0-0, terrible game, and it more or less confirmed our relegation. So I had to say that was definitely a low point for me and the channel.
I think for me, the worst times was, just coming to the top of my head, I think the Rafa Benitez situation, that got us a little bit. And you can talk about, Mike Ashley and what he's done in the stadium name change and the treatment of players. But for me, it's the consistent negativity of everything. Like the fans at each other, the consistent negative football. Obviously, I go to every home and away game and just coming out, parking the bus, having no hope. It just sucks the life out of you. You should protest. You should boycott. You shouldn't. You should. You're not a true fan. You are a true fan. That's for me. That's what negged me out doing this. And it was just so frustrating being a Newcastle fan.
I tell you what, when I got my season ticket back in the Rafa Benitez Championship season, it was all good. Everyone is excited. It was a new dawn. And since then, it was pretty much... It got worse and worse and worse, didn't it? There was so much going on. Just generally going to games and having protests, fans fighting, and over the years it got worse. I'll be honest and say that the lowest point was literally the week before takeover, when we played Wolves, and I just sat there and thought, it's one thing to go to these games, it's another to have to sit and look sad on a camera every time. That was the worst one for me.
Pretty much the first 4 years, to be honest with you. I mean, there wasn't much joy, was there? I mean, that time, even Rafa, Rafa's times, little last-minute winners weren't anything special. Never got foreign cups. It was literally just the odd moment, wasn't it? The odd celebration, like Hayden against Chelsea last minute. Those little things, we didn't have much to cheer about. The worst, I would have to say, was just watching Steve Bruce every week, watching Brucey Ball, watching the press conferences, travelling to away games, just knowing you're going to get beat.
Close to packing it in. I think probably just before COVID-19 hit, that season as a whole, I was only really doing videos where I went to away matches. Even at home, I wasn't really uploading that much. So I wouldn't say I was close to packing it in, but I think I was starting to get a little bit tired of YouTube, and potentially, if it wasn't for COVID-19, I might have potentially gave it up. But no, I think once lockdown hit, I started to get back into it a bit more, and it was almost like a blessing in disguise for my channel, just a chance to kind of sit back, evaluate myself, and kind of go again.
Nah, I've never really thought of like packing what we do, YouTube, the socials, the website, and all of that in. I came very, very close to a burnout a few years ago where all the videos were me, everything. I mean, it still is largely myself who does 90% of everything you see on YouTube, but, it was wearing us down, like constant editing, constant uploading, constant driving, constantly asking everybody else. I put a stop to that, about 2 years ago, and I just thought, nah, if people don't want to come on, I'm not going to chase them anymore. So that's the way I run it now. If you want to come on, fantastic, let's do a video together. If you don't, I'm not going to chase you. So, and that's just not just our team, it's people who say that will come on, like guests and stuff like that. I've got to enjoy YouTube, and as long as I don't suffer a burnout, that's what I'm looking for.
I remember the pandemic, when we couldn't go to the football. It was tough, and I wouldn't say I've ever really got close to packing it in. What I've kind of done instead was, instead of uploading 2 or 3 times a week, I was down to 1 video every 2 weeks. But when we're not playing well, when I'm not enjoying it, the fans aren't enjoying it, nobody's watching the videos, you think, what am I doing? And I think the closest was literally that week before the takeover, and I just thought, I'm moaning about it. Nobody cares, so why am I doing it?
In terms of YouTube, yes. Not in terms of following Newcastle. I went down south to do a Masters. The idea was then to just do more mainstream media. And I was probably going to move away from Newcastle, to be fair. Then I moved back due to the takeover, due to the hope that we had with the club and the direction it was going. But never gave up following Newcastle. The good thing about living down south when I was there was being able to get every away game, Palace and stuff from Southampton. But yeah, I would always follow Newcastle. But in terms of, I was just getting bored of making content, whinging all the time and seeing how crap we were every week.
Well, I think it's fair to say for every content creator regarding Newcastle, it's been huge. It's been a massive growth in popularity. Newcastle's now a club where we have interest, we are going somewhere. It's unlike in the past where we're so stagnated. There's no reason. I mean, for example, why would somebody of an opposition team watch Newcastle YouTubers on a weekly basis? You just wouldn't, because the club's going nowhere. We were just crap, to be honest. So once the takeover was happening now, we've got a clear direction. You've seen it firsthand, the pitch, we're clearly going somewhere. Therefore, more people want to watch YouTubers, more people want to see how transfers are going, more people want to see the match day experience. So it's been huge. It's been huge for absolutely everyone. And for me, on a personal level, I've had a chance to actually leave university and go full-time on YouTube. So that was such a surreal moment for me.
In terms of preparation, nothing massively in terms of that. I think the videos are all positive. Of course, the big achievement that we got last summer was getting our own office in the city centre, which was great. But I think we would have probably done that anyways, even if I had Mike Ashley in charge. But I think it's just the positivity around the place. You sense it, happiness around in person, virtually, online as well with social media. Doing videos, you sense that the whole of the team, not just myself, are happy making content. It's a lot more, looking forward to simple things like transfer market, signings, to a better brand of football, enjoying it as well. Going away thinking, you know what, we should win today, instead of thinking, oh my God, we'll do well to get a point here.
Yeah, it's been great. Let's be honest, it's really brought life back to the channel. And that's the thing, I do try and base my channel off just me as a fan. I would be going to these games regardless. The only difference is that I bring my camera along. And that's why it was tough when we weren't playing well. It's one thing to go and sit with your friends and have a bad time. It's another to record yourself having a bad time, but then you flip it around. And you've got people watching the channel, enjoying the videos, and basically for me, and being able to share my experience with fans when it's all going good. It's a real pleasure and joy to make those videos.
Much better in terms of obviously growth, followers, views, everything. But just the interaction, I think that's the best part. The lack of negativity now in the comments, the interactions are better, the lack of toxicity between followers and fan bases. We're all united now, we all want the same thing, so I think that's the difference, to be honest.
Oh, of course, I can't wait for Wembley. I mean, by the time this videos came up, I'll already be down in Wembley. I've actually booked it, so I'm going down on the Sunday after Liverpool game, so I'm going across for 10 days. I got loads of videos done, so it's I can't wait for it. It's the biggest match of my life. I've been waiting so long to see Newcastle get to a stage where we're actually playing at Wembley. I've actually never been to Wembley before, so I've intentionally waited until we're on a cup final to do so. So yeah, there's going to be plenty of videos on the channel, and I absolutely can't wait for that game next week.
Yeah, lots of content. Obviously, there's been a video already. This video, we're doing quizzes in the build-up. I'm going to be down Sky Studios as well, because I'll be working down there. I'll be the first one in London, so I'll be there literally at Friday. And then Sam and Johnny, Carl and his brother. And yeah, it's going to be class. I think Josh is going as well, but he can't appear on video. But yeah, we've got loads and loads of stuff at the minute planned, and we're thinking caps on, and we're getting obviously guests on from famous faces that we're trying to as well. And then the scenes at Trafalgar Square. We've got tons and tons and tons lined up, so stay tuned.
Yes, I'm going down to Wembley like a select lucky few Newcastle fans are, and I will be down there recording. If I'm honest, I've not really prepped too much ahead of the final. I'm hoping to do the preview, but I'm really concentrating on that weekend, getting down there, the travel down, the fan experience. It's what I'm hoping is going to be a fantastic weekend. In Trafalgar Square on the Saturday night is going to be unbelievable, I'm sure. And then on the Saturday, all the build-up and hopefully the celebrations after.
Oh, absolutely. This is why we start the channel, for days like this. We're craving days like this, big days out of Wembley, even more so for next year, hopefully. Following them around Europe is going to be absolutely unreal.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course you don't want to lose to Newcastle, but I still think it will benefit us somewhat, because it would give the players experience and they'll see firsthand how failure happens in a cup final, and I think it will encourage us to do better and to go again. Obviously, you don't want to lose any game, especially not a cup final, but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if we lost. It's really good experience for the players to be at Wembley, but of course, though, it's just the start for Newcastle. I'm fully convinced that we're going to get back there next couple of years. I think with where the club's going now, it's just one of them ones where it's going to happen because we're doing so well. The ownership are backing the manager and the players, and it's just a matter of time, I feel like, before we get back to this sort of stage again.
Yeah, I genuinely believe even if Newcastle get beat, it's just the start of something. I genuinely believe that. If you take a look, at 98, 99, I was heartbroken. I was. But a lot of fans haven't even experienced the final. I'm lucky enough that I have. So if we get beat, yes, we'll be hurt. However, we're fourth in the league. We're playing a much better brand of football. We've got owners who want to back us on and off the pitch. There's going to be loads of things happening off the pitch. The commercial business revenue is going to get better. There's plans for fan zones and talk of stadium expansions. And yeah, it's a start of something. Newcastle can compete and hit the dizzy heights of reaching, European football every season, going in the latter stages of competitions. Yeah, it's the start of something. It is really the start of something. But it would be amazing. It'd be class if we can win something.
I hope so. As I said, if you'd told me 7 years ago when I was doing my first vlog for the Mönchengladbach friendly at St James's Park that at some point I would be doing a vlog just the same as I was when I was jumping on that bus, I wouldn't advise watching that video, by the way, it's not very good. But if you could have said I will be doing that again, but this time at Wembley Stadium for Newcastle to potentially win a cup, I wouldn't have believed you. But I am really hoping this is the first of what will be a few to come for Newcastle United very soon.
I hope so. I really do hope so. You can never guarantee that. One of the reasons why I did pay over the odds for a ticket to Wembley was because you just never know when you're going to get back there. Look, we're hoping with the investment, the direction the club's going in, that we can make it more of a trend to get back to these sort of cup finals. But look, it's not guaranteed. You've seen Liverpool went years without getting to Wembley. Man United went a few years. You never know. So I hope so. It depends what happens in the summer transfer window, though, to be honest with you. But the way Eddie Howe's got to play in, well, yeah, of course it is.
Oh yeah, I will be very emotional the day. I think if we lose, I probably will cry. To be honest, if we win, I might potentially cry as well. I'm not really an emotional person, to be honest, but I feel like for that time I might slip through the cracks a little bit. But it's going to be emotional for every Newcastle fans, so I'm fully convinced that everyone's going to really feel the moment that when the players come out of Wembley and we're playing for the first major one potentially since 1955 domestic-wise. So yeah, it's an amazing feeling and everyone will be emotional for that game.
Me, emotional? Nah, no chance. I will be. Look, I am probably the most emotional on the channel. I'll rant. I'll drop in a few F-bombs. I'm not scared to do it. I've sat outside Sports Direct effing and blinding when people are walking past us to, crying almost. Well, I was ahead of TR when we beat Spurs 1-0. The takeover night, I felt really emotional. I was wobbling. I felt a little bit wobbly coming into, because I seen all the fans celebrating. That got to me in a good way. Look, win or lose, I think I will be emotional. I think that's just because I'm there, I'm experiencing it and taking it all in. And, we hope that's what it is. It's the hope if Newcastle can win. It'd be amazing. But if we lose, I'll be proud of how far we've come. But I will be upset. Yeah, I'll be emotional. No doubt about it. So, Carl, Johnny, Sam, you best bring the hankies, lads, because I'll probably need them.
It's strange, because I have thought about this, possibly. It's strange because as much as, I've not seen Newcastle win anything in my lifetime, there's people who have been watching even longer who have seen us win just as much as I have. So I think for a lot of fans, it's going to be a very big moment. I felt like there was quite a lot of emotion after the semi-final. You could see it in the players, you could see it in the crowd. And I think on that day, especially after drinking all day as well, I think there could be a few emotional people, and I would say possibly more so if we actually win. So I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully we'll be crying, smiling, singing for all night on Sunday.
I think I'll be very emotional. I don't think it'll feel real until we actually get to Wembley. I think it might start sinking in a bit when we're in and around Wembley on the weekend, Trafalgar Square Saturday night, but until the lads walk out of Wembley, I think it'll just hit us. And then I don't even know what's going to happen if we win the cup, because I've never had that emotion before. I've never seen one win a trophy, so I'm not sure how I'll take it. buzzing to find out though.